Welcome. This is Tio from What Would Tio Say Photography. I am back. This is episode 2. I'm excited. I wanna jump right into this one. Today's topic is shyness in photography. We all get shy. That's just part of the game. I think most photographers have some form of shyness in them. Like the great Erica Badu say, sensitive about our shit. Excuse my language. But as artists, we put so much pride into our work. With photography, it's just you, the camera, and the subject. And when we're behind the camera, there's really no directions, or in some cases it's just your mental focus and you composing and squaring up and checking everything through that viewfinder to make sure you get that shot. I mean, that's your goal. That is what you're trying to accomplish, and nothing else matters, right? So recently I had a conversation with a good photography friend of mine, and he was doing a photo shoot, and he realized people were watching the whole shoot, and he found it to be challenging. And he asked me, he goes, "Hey Tio, has that ever happened to you? Do you get annoyed when that happens?" And my response was, yeah, it does. At the end of the day, I am human, but it's so important to stay focused on the shot. It's different when you in studio and you're in a control space essentially, and you're taking photos, versus when you're outdoors, and especially if you're in a public space with a lot of people. You got to stay focused. You got to stay focused on the shot. Especially if it's paid work for the most part. And what's interesting about that is, even though people are constantly on their phone, they're taking photos with their phone, but many individuals actually never had a professional photo shoot done. So it's still that allure of photography that we still have, that we get to own, is ours. Every time I speak to a client and I ask, what are you expecting? Is there any questions you ever have? So I generally go through the process with the client before I even hit that shutter button. The lighting we're gonna use. The sometimes I'll put out 2-3 lenses out. And I look like to them, in some cases, I look like a surgeon going to perform some surgery. But, I take the time and explain the process of what I'm doing and different things of that nature. And I explained that to my buddy. It's fascinating to see a photo shoot from the outside. It's its own unique experience, and sometimes, we have to keep that in mind and keep that perspective, that we as photographers, it is our job, when the opportunity shows itself, to educate those that are not familiar with it. The list goes on as far as, what people do, some of the weird stuff that they may do. I might make it into a topic, but one particular one that comes into mind, how do you feel about clients editing your photos? that's, there's wide range of responses to that from many photographers that I know personally. So myself, I do a lot of street photography work. So shyness, I always will always respect, people's space. Over the years, I think the nature of your work is going to dictate how you go about with your photography. There's some photographers that, they all in. If they can get that shot, the rest is null and void. It doesn't matter. Who cares, right? And for me, I always tend to, I'm not far, I'm not close, but I always know I'm using the right focal length as far as lenses go. I use prime lenses because I want a little bit more control with my photography. So I know how far and how close I need to be. And in some cases, depending where I'm at, depending on the subject that I'm looking at, if it's a scene that is just what I would call cinematic, where this is the money shot, I'll make my approach, and I'll tell them, I say, hey, my name is Teal David, I'm a Buffalo photographer, here's my card. I'm not trying to frighten you or anything, but I see that your outfit matches the scene, or there's a funny billboard and you standing near it, this is what I would like to do. If you're interested, we can make this shot happen, and I'll make sure to send you a photo. You have my contact information. I'll get yours. 90% of the time, that works. The other 10%, it's going to be a no, and in some cases, depending on timing, I just take the shot, and if in most cases, I haven't really been bothered. I think it's only one time I ever had a guy actually follow me. I turned around and we spoke. I addressed the situation. He actually accused me of taking a photo of him, which I didn't, and then requested that I show him my camera, and I told him no. I had no reason to lie, and I'll probably tell a story about that, because that is an interesting story in itself. And at the end of the conversation, I actually did get a photo of him, which is pretty interesting. So it turned out a little shaky and weird, but it ended up, everyone was safe. I was safe. Guy was safe. No one was harmed or hurt. But it's also knowing your comfort level, knowing what you're doing, and also knowing boundaries. Some people, their energy, their body language is going to tell you, hey, you need to back up, I'm not really with that, so, we all deal with those things, especially the shyness of photography. I thought it would be a cool topic to discuss, because you generally think of shyness in terms of street photography, which is really where you see it, but it can be anywhere. I think for us photographers we're like psychologists, psychiatrists. When you put a camera in front of a person's face, there is a level of vulnerability there that you have to be very, very respectful of, be sincere, be empathetic, because a person is generally thinking, what if they see, I have a lazy eye or my skin discoloration. That's where you come in. That's when you're the professional. That's when you let them know, I got you. We're going to take this ride together, and that level of comfort when you reach the client, those photos will come out looking amazing, amazing. So don't worry about the shyness, work through it, build. Remember, the end goal is that photo. With that being said, I'm Teal from What Would Teal Say Photography. Subscribe, follow me on all my platforms. The links are in the subscription. I'll see you on to the next one. Peace.